welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Undressed with Paul and Patrick with Little Snow White 90210.
Hey, Undressed bitches! I'm excited. We got a fabulous guest in the Paul at 2 Beverly Hills boutique today.
We've got a hottie with a body!
Yeah, she is. And we've known her for quite a long time. We're going to break all that down. You'll know her from Real Housewives of Atlanta. You also know her from Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. And now you know her as a fucking real scripted actress.
She was always acting anyway.
And isn't she a director now too?
She's a director now.
Oh my God. Let's introduce Cynthia Bailey in the house.
Cynthia Bailey in the house.
Thank you for that fabulous introduction. So
Hi,
you
beautiful.
are so excited to
Fabulous.
be here, finally.
I know.
Well, she's a busy bitch. She be gallivanting all across the United States of Americas.
Yeah, and didn't you just direct a film?
No, I have not directed.
I thought you were starting to direct.
No, I am starting to direct
Okay,
and produce.
Okay, got it. That's what I
Yes,
thought.
yes,
Okay, that's
I'm
exciting.
Behind the scenes and also in front of the camera. But
Okay.
right now, I've just been mostly in front of the
Cynthia, you're too pretty to be behind the scenes. Girl, you cannot be taking no
camera.
notes.
Listen, I am a hustler. I got to work all angles. I got to be in front of that camera. I got to be behind
Yup.
the camera, holding the camera, whatever I have to do.
Whatever you
Keep it
got to
going.
do. Sounds like my
Absolutely.
life.
Now, are you from Atlanta?
I'm originally from Alabama.
You.
Alabama.
Okay.
Have I been to Alabama? Which one's Alabama?
I can't.
I mean, I get Alabama, but
It's
which
next
one?
to New Orleans.
It is?
And
That's the one.
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
It's like Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Have
I
you
want
been
to
to
go.
Atlanta?
No.
You've never been to Atlanta?
No.
You guys have
Never
never
been
been
to
to
that?
Atlanta?
No.
We've
Okay,
never
that's a
been to
shame.
Georgia.
Two gay boys that haven't been to Atlanta.
That's
It's pretty
crazy.
bad.
Oh, Atlanta would love you guys.
I
You guys
know.
have to come to visit me at Lake Bailey.
We will.
Oh,
Yeah.
then we gotta go.
Totally will.
You've got your own lake?
Well, it's not technically my
Did you
lake.
just say that it was Lake Bailey? Did I hear that it's your
I
own lake?
named the portion of the lake that's in front of my house, or behind my house, Lake
love it.
Bailey. So it's not technically my lake,
Oh,
but
bitch has her own lake. Who knew?
Well,
Okay.
now I
Now I
really
have
feel
a reason.
poor.
wow.
Now I have a reason to go because there's a Lake Bailey.
Oh my God. So you were on Real Housewives of Atlanta for 11 years?
11 seasons.
Wow.
Correct.
That's
Yeah.
an OG.
Consistently.
Yeah.
Consistently. Yeah, I started season 3.
Okay.
I came on with Phaedra.
Yep.
Phaedra.
Love
And
Phaedra.
Yes, love Phaedra. She was so good on Traders. Oh my God, I was obsessed.
She
I
was.
wanted her to win.
I know.
I mean, how
She
could
was
you
so-
not
she
want- I mean,
played
you want your
the
friends
to
hell
win.
out of that game. Okay,
Yeah.
that's all I can
Absolutely.
tell you. Let me take a sip of my coffee.
Yeah, drink your coffee because he's going to do your Armenian coffee reading at the end, which
This
is pretty
so
awesome.
strong, you guys.
I know.
Like, when I tell you, I'm going to be bouncing off the walls.
It's your Armenian cocaine
Well,
for the day.
if
It
you,
is.
Yes.
I'm glad I have a busy day because now I'm going to have the energy to complete everything.
I love
well,
it.
you're hustling. So,
I am a hustler.
what's your next hustle? Well, you just got back from a hustle.
I'm always hustling. Well, okay, so
Yeah.
I did the show, Real Housewives of Atlanta, for
Yep.
11 seasons. Last season, I did pop in kind of as a day
Oh, you
player
did?
whenever
Yes.
I was in Atlanta. I still have, organic relationships with most of the ladies on the show, so
Yep.
they still invite me to stuff. So it's like, well, if I'm going to come to your event and you guys are filming it, then, I need to
Let me
work
show
something
up.
out.
Cynthia, why
So-
make that difficult but very big decision to leave the show? Like, I feel like when you get on this show, you just want to stay
Ride
there
it out.
forever.
To the wheels fall off. For me, it just was, I felt like it was just time.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I didn't really, in terms of story, I felt like, I've been through 2 marriages, 2 divorces at this point.
Yeah.
All of that was on the show,
Mm-hmm.
basically. My daughter's been through stuff on the show.
Yep.
I've started so many businesses on the show. I just felt like I needed a break
Okay.
from the show.
Would you go back?
I will never, ever, ever say never.
Okay.
But I will say not right now as
Okay.
a full-time housewife, for sure. For
Okay.
sure I can't do that right now because it does take a lot of my time up, and I'm really focused on my acting career.
Yeah.
And I can't really, I don't know, how people can do, 2 or 3 things at a time. Like, for me, I'm like a perfectionist.
Mm-hmm.
I really want, if I focus on it, I want to be successful. So for me, I can't do Housewives and be an actress. Like, I have to.
Honey, you were acting
focus.
on that. You were doing a damn good job acting on those housewives because you pretended like you had friends with some of them bitches. You knew when I saw you on that plane on the Ultimate Girls Trip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That
I was
a tough
like,
trip.
honey, she's really.
That
she's
was, right?
real.
It was a
It
tough.
was a
even
nail
though-
bite.
Started
biter.
off great. Yeah, started off great.
Yeah. It's a short filming though, right? It's not
8 days.
like how
and
many
it was
days?
the first one, 8 days.
Wow.
And I did the first one.
Okay.
And what was so great about that, this was one of the great things about that,
Yep.
was like once I left Housewife, even when I was all Housewives, once I left Housewives,
Yeah.
when I was making that decision not to go back to Housewives, I had already been offered the first Ultimate Girls Trip. So it felt like I left,
You
but
were
then I was on
transitioning
Ultimate Girls
into-
Trip, so
Right.
then I was back again. So a lot of people don't realize how long it's actually been. I haven't been on for like at least a couple of seasons. I think this will be the 3rd season.
Oh wow.
That I'm not
And
on.
what's the differences between Housewives and Ultimate Girls Trip?
Okay, so Housewives is usually 6 or 7 women that that live in Atlanta, from Atlanta, friends, Atlanta friends or whatever.
Yep.
That live in the same place, in
Sure.
the same state, and same city. And
Or so we
all
think.
get together. Or so
That
we
they
think.
live in the same place.
Well, that's how it's supposed to work.
Well, in
okay?
Beverly Hills, some of them are Beverly Hills adjacent.
Adjacent.
Right.
So nobody lives in Beverly Hills. They're all adjacent.
Okay, Georgia. Okay, we'll just say Georgia. And, we're all like friends and connected in one way or the other. And we just get together and hang out and talk about our business and our lives and, our families.
Tear each other up.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And then the Ultimate Girls Trip is so great because I always personally, as a housewife, always wondered what it would be like to shoot with other housewives from different franchises.
Yeah.
So you get 6 or 7 women that are all from different franchises.
Because
So
they
that's
don't
pretty
keep them
cool.
on the same, right? It's all split up from different franchises and they
Yes.
all bring them together. So
Yes.
do you know the women or some you don't know?
Most of them I knew on my girls trip.
Okay.
Some I didn't know well. Like
Yeah.
I would see them. The only time I really would see some of the other ladies is if they came to Atlanta. Like a lot of times they would call and say, "Hey, do you have a makeup artist or whatever."
Right.
Like I knew Luann really well because we're friends and we've been friends for a really long time.
We went to her show.
Yeah, I
I
like her.
know.
She's
Oh,
I know.
my
I missed it. I
God.
was working.
It was
I
fun.
was gonna go with you guys. I know that was
Yeah.
a fun one.
She was fun.
Yeah. And I didn't know Teresa Giudice.
Okay.
But I knew of her, of course,
Yeah.
but I never hung out with her.
Who doesn't know she flips tables? I mean, hello.
No, of course I knew all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But
That's
she was the
museum.
one I was really kind of curious to really get to know her.
Yeah.
Because, she just has her story is just
So much.
a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
And even with the things that I've done on the show, like with the whole thing that happened with her husband and
Yeah.
the prison
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
Like I feel like so many of the women on the show are super strong women, but I don't know if I was going through something like that,
How you would
how I
have
could have
to
been on
deal with
TV
it.
at the same
That
time.
you would want to. Do you think now that you're saying that
That
with
was
you
hard.
about being on TV, do you think that your 2 marriages broke up because you were on TV? Because you were on
absolutely
Housewives? No. Okay.
It probably
I always ask people that
accelerated-
because I'm
It
always
didn't help.
curious.
It didn't help.
It didn't help.
Yeah.
But I feel like,
Does
know,
it
when you...
accelerate it?
No, I think at the end of the day, for me, I'm a Pisces. I'm a lover of love. I jump in things kind of quick.
Yep.
I kind of go with my heart, and it is what it is. And then I think you start to see the signs. And honestly, in both of my marriages, when I look back at those marriages, whether I was on a reality show or not, I don't think they were my people. They were not my person.
Do you think that
Not for long term. They
Right.
were for that time.
do you think being on the show helped you expose that to your recognize that faster because you got cameras in your whole life and
Well, this is what I think about having a relationship on the show.
yeah.
It's like you
Don't.
just
Because
Well,
if
it's
you
like-
do, it's going to be
it's like living everything twice.
Yeah.
It's like if you're like going through stuff in real life
Yeah.
and then you're talking about it on the show, you're doing it in real life, then it comes out on the show, and then really 3 times because then you got to see the social media reaction
Right.
to everything you just showed on the show.
Yeah.
So it's almost like 3 times.
But when you started on Housewives Atlanta, social media was not really a big presence.
It was just starting.
Yeah.
It was just starting because I wasn't even on social media
Right.
until I started the show.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things they wanted us to do was, join Instagram.
Okay.
Because we would start. That was just kind of the beginning of it really being a big force within,
I'm
our world.
curious to know which franchise would you go back to when you go back?
If you could pick one.
Oh, between
Would you
well,
go-
I live,
you- would you-
I live between LA and Atlanta. You know what?
Would you do Beverly Hills?
I can't say that I wouldn't do Beverly Hills, but I honestly, my life for so long has been in Atlanta, and I
Yeah.
have organic roots with those ladies.
Yeah.
With the OGs on
Oh,
that
screw
show.
the organic route. Who cares?
I know, but I love.
This is about good
but listen,
television.
No, the show is elevating so much.
Yeah.
The franchise, the whole housewife structure. I love the idea. you know, a lot of us don't live in the same places. I really live both places.
Yeah.
I love that I was able to go and hang out with Sutton and play with the Beverly Hills girls a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
There was actually a couple scenes that Sutton and I did together that didn't make the show, but whatever, we shot it, and it was like fun just seeing, you know, this world, because I've spent a lot of time out here.
Of course.
Right.
But, you know, my home is Atlanta for now.
And that's
It
your
just-
base.
It
and
just
your
is what
roots,
it is.
basically.
That's that's my base. And, you know, I mean, once my person shows up in my life, if I end up living somewhere else, then I'm completely
Well, he's
open.
going to be reading your coffee
Cynthia-
cup,
Yeah,
so you
oh,
need
let
to
me-
make sure
let
you
me
be
drink
drinking
my
that
coffee.
coffee.
Cynthia Bailey is on every single platform. Please DM her immediately for a hot date tonight.
Oh my God. No dick pics though. No dick pics.
No.
No,
We can say that later if I like.
Can I say they all send it to him all day long?
They
They
do.
do?
Yeah,
They
they do.
send him dick. I never get any. I'm like, why not me?
I don't know why. What
Why
makes
not
me?
I've only gotten like maybe 3.
I've never gotten any.
And it was crazy. And one was like super random. Like I've gotten like maybe 2 in my DMs.
Yeah.
Which you're never just ready to like open it up and be like, oh, okay. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good night.
Yeah.
This is a lot.
Exactly.
But I was actually, I have a funny dick pic story. So I was at the gas station out in Porter Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting ready to head into the city. And actually, I needed some air in the tire.
Oh.
And I'm not really good. I couldn't figure out. I was
How to
trying to
put
put
the-
it in, but I could hear it hissing. But I was like, is it
Oh,
going
but
in
you
the
had it-
tire?
you
Yeah.
had
I
it
wasn't sure
locked
if I
in.
was putting it in right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Oh my
the-
God.
The connection hadn't
I wasn't
been.
sure if it was connected.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was struggling. Okay. So,
Okay.
but I'm like trying. So this guy pulls up, and he's like, "Do you need some help?" And he seemed like, you know, he was kind of cute, black guy. Whatever.
What kind of a
whatever.
car?
He was like in a nice like Mercedes.
See the
whatever,
things my
whatever.
husband asks.
Well, this story does not end well. But anyway, so I was like, you know what? I did need some help, so he helped me fill
Yeah.
up the tire, whatever. And I don't know. He was like,
She was a
for
damsel
some
in
reason-
distress at a
Which
gas
is so rare
station.
because I really know how to do everything.
Right.
I honestly, it's a very few things that I don't know how to do, and
That's
put
funny.
air in my tire is one of them.
Yeah.
So anyway, for some reason, I don't know. I was just so taken by him just offering to help me because I'm used to doing
Yeah,
everything
'cause who
myself.
does that in LA?
Right.
I guess he asked me for my number. I guess I gave it to him.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
like I get a text from him like 2 a.m.
Wow, perfect
and
time.
it is like the most graphic shot
Wow.
of his penis.
Oh, he sent you a dick. Like that was the first
Yes, that's what he
contact.
said.
Is
That
a
was
dick
the
pic?
hello.
That was the hello.
Oh my God. And the
And
goodbye,
I-
apparently.
Was so
Well,
freaked
no.
out.
Why would it be a
Because first of
goodbye?
all-
No, that would be the goodbye because that's a little much.
It was too much.
Yeah.
First of all, it was too much dick. Okay.
Wait, Cynthia, could there ever be too much?
You know, there is a such thing as too much. There is a such thing as too much.
Was it all lit
It was
up
a
and
lot.
like purged?
It was
and-
just
God.
wrong. And so I was so insulted. I was like,
Yeah.
Who does that?
we're just jumping right to a dick pic. You
Right.
don't even say
Put air in my
hello,
tire and suddenly you
nothing.
feel like
now you're
you're...
trying to like put something else in me. Like you're
Right.
trying to put
Why
some air
don't you
somewhere
just
else.
violate my
Did he know
Instagram?
who you
was-
were? Did he know you were on
I
Housewives
don't
or
think
anything?
so.
Oh, so he didn't know.
But maybe he figured it out later because I can never tell when people know who I am. He didn't
Yeah.
say like, "Oh, Cynthia Bailey, let me help you put the air."
I
in
would
your
have
tire."
said, you
But
mean
I-
this is the Bailey from the lake? Bailey over
I
there.
know. So I just was like, I just blocked him. I was like, this is
Yeah.
just too much too fast.
Wow.
And I guess the moral to the story is just be careful who you let put air in your tire. If you do, maybe don't give them your number.
That's funny.
Well,
oh my God.
But that's nice. I mean, they're sending it to you.
No, I don't think
and
that's
then you
nice.
block
The
him.
first,
I like that.
I don't think it's nice. The first message to her is a dick pic.
No,
That's a
I
little
like that.
disgusting.
You know why? Because they already show you who they are. So you either want to take
Well, then
it
you know,
or
block.
leave it. You know what I mean?
Is that what that meant? Like,
Yeah, what's going to happen after 3 dates? You're going to
Yeah.
find out that they're all about it and you wasted all that time?
Like,
You
I
knew
like
from
people
the
to be,
get-go.
listen, I like people to be transparent
Yeah.
and upfront.
Yeah.
However, do not send me a dick pic as soon as I get
Cynthia,
my number.
ask him how transparent and upfront I was when we first met.
Oh my God! First of all, how
Very.
did you guys even meet?
In New York.
I mean,
in New York,
the
first time.
first 2 hours that I
Yeah.
knew him.
Okay, what happened? What did he do in 2 hours?
Well,
did he send you a dick
He just
pic?
no, he just
No.
kept staring
Show
at
it
me
to
all
me.
night, and I was on my phone working, and so I'm just like put an end to it. I grabbed him, pulled him in the bathroom, gave him a kiss.
Oh my God!
Yeah. And then I told him, hold up, buddy. Hold up.
20 years ago, 21
Hold
years ago.
up.
So wait. So you stared at him. until you got
I
his
was doing a
attention.
bunch of interviews because I was doing Mercedes-Benz Bryant Park Fashion Week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I was doing interviews for the new collection, all
Okay.
the stuff in New York.
Okay.
Yep.
There's all these naked people in the loft where they're doing photo shoots
Right.
with all the clothes.
Right.
The energy is
Yes.
it's,
I know. I've
it's
done shows.
high.
For New York
It's
Fashion
insane.
Week.
Yeah.
You're a model. You get it. And then he showed up in a full suit, tie, and a trench coat in New York
Ooh.
City. And I'm like, oh my God. I forgot
Yeah.
everything. I was a babbling buffoon. I had no idea
just
what the hell I
knew.
was talking about.
You just knew he was your guy.
I was like, oh
Kind of.
my God, who is this guy?
Yeah.
All the
So you
naked
just get
men.
up. So he stares you down.
I
You get
just
up.
grabbed him, pulled him into the bathroom, pushed him up against the wall, and gave him a kiss.
And you guys have been together ever since.
Ever since.
Well, but then I was very transparent from
He
the
was.
very beginning.
Like, what is,
When
like,
he wanted to go, he said,
I said, let's get out of here. Let's go have a drink. I don't drink.
I go, I don't drink. So, I'm not going to
Okay,
go and
we'll
just
just
go
go hang
drink.
out.
Yeah,
I
you don't
said,
drink.
and number one, you took too many privileges back there. you see what I mean?
Right.
That wasn't cool. And now you want to go out.
Yeah.
And I go, what hotel are you staying at? He goes, what does it matter? We're not going to go to the hotel. I said,
Right.
well, that wasn't going to happen anyway.
Okay.
But I'm curious because you could be an axe murderer.
I'm like,
You
I'm not
see?
a serial
See,
killer.
you didn't ask that question to the guy when he
I
was
did
doing
not.
your tire.
I did not.
I wouldn't have. See, I have hesitation when people approach me and I think they know the judgmental eyes. It's like, travel with caution.
Yes.
Because he will.
Or proceed with caution.
Proceed
in your
with,
case.
because it's.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a sense about me that has this protection shield around me the whole time. I rather leave with a flat tire than allow somebody to just come help me. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like it's weird.
Yeah.
So when he asked me to go to the hotel, I go, what hotel are you staying at? And he goes, I'm not going to tell you. It doesn't matter. We're
So
not
you
going to
didn't
go
to
there.
The hotel.
No. He didn't want to tell me.
No, because I'm like, what does he need to know my hotel for?
Right,
I'm not
right,
asking. I'm not
right.
asking
Well,
him
if you're
back
not
to my
gonna go, you
room.
don't well, maybe he just wanted to know.
Yeah,
like,
but
He
wouldn't
did.
you want to
where
know,
you-
Cynthia?
What type of
Yeah.
hotel it was.
That's
yes.
right. Wouldn't you want to know? I was going to
Yeah.
go if it was Motel 6, girl.
Well, I'm curious. Now, what was the damn hotel? What hotel were you at?
I said the Waldorf.
Finally.
So right, hello.
Hello.
You know what this bitch says?
But for...
You know what? Would you
excuse
be
me,
impressed
what
if
did
I?
he say?
Would you be impressed if I said the Waldorf? You
Yeah.
know, I'm got my shit
I love
together,
the Waldorf.
right?
Yeah.
I have 2 phones. I'm good.
Right.
I got a trench
Right,
coat.
you got
I'm-
it going on. You're
nice
like,
suit.
Cynthia,
it's
This
all been
bitch
very
says in the
successful.
regular
girl,
section
no.
or the towers.
That's what I asked him.
Stop.
I said, are we in the regular section or in the towers?
I cannot.
And then he goes, but see, here's the thing. And I think that's the deciding difference. If and when I realized that he was very interested in me, I needed to recognize that, and he needed to know that I was as well.
Right.
So don't send me a dick pic. Don't do crazy shit to
Yeah.
impress me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not into that.
Right.
I'm into you.
Right.
So let's start on a good footing.
Right.
I want you to know who I am. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to stay in the regular section, girl. When you're going to go out, we ain't going to stay in the regular section.
I love this.
So I told
do you teach classes?
He needs to, right?
I gotta,
So you know what he
I'm
did?
doing this all wrong.
But here's what the deciding that trigger was.
Mm-hmm.
Then a switch went inside him on.
Mm-hmm.
And it said, I have a 1-bedroom suite with my own key card and a butler.
In the towers.
In the towers. Would you like to go somewhere with me
And just
to
hang out?
He asked.
I did.
And I
love
said,
this.
sure, let's go. I was going to go anyway, but it would have been a different story because I realized that he was interested.
Yeah.
Because he would have walked away. If I
Yeah.
had said that, he would have
Yeah.
been like, oh,
Like-
gold digger bitch, I'm
Right.
out of here. I'm
Right.
dealing with your
Right.
shit. I
Right.
just needed some, dick pic.
And,
I'm
and
like,
we've been on the roller coaster ever since for 21 years in July.
when he
21 years.
proposed to me
That
the
is
first time,
incredible.
I told him, I said, are you sure you want to go on this ride? I said that to him.
He did.
Because I wanted to make sure you can't get off the ride. Once you're on, we're done.
You're on.
Yeah.
We're done. There's no
What is
off.
your sign? I need signs.
Oh, I'm a Capricorn.
Okay.
Cancer.
And you're a
Cancer.
Cancer.
And you?
I'm a Pisces.
Uh,
I'm actually, to be honest, on the cusp of Aquarius and Pisces.
Okay.
Which is
But I kinda feel
similar.
like I'm more of a Pisces.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is similar. You're
I can see
very
that.
calm. You like you
Don't
like to
start
do
none, won't be
peace.
none.
Yeah.
You know.
You don't want to create
I
issues.
don't.
You're
I
a
don't
lover,
like
not a
lot of
fighter.
drama.
That's
Yeah.
why it's so funny to me that you were on Housewives for 11 years when
Yeah.
you're not
You were the
drama. Like, I don't know you as
peacemaker.
drama.
I'm really not. And that's what's so crazy. But I think this is why I believe in timing.
Yeah.
When I came on the show, season 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just like I was just that right balance of being the voice of reason.
Yeah.
You know, I was like self-made. I was coming from Atlanta as a very successful model. I was just different, but at the same time, I definitely, you know, wasn't very confrontational. But I will, you know, if you put baby in a corner,
Yeah. No, you could stand up for yourself.
I can pop on out now.
Yeah,
don't
absolutely.
Don't confuse that.
Right.
Don't take my kindness for weakness.
But what I liked about you on the show is that you never gave unnecessary drama.
No.
You knew how to stand up and put it back to the girls, but you never really started it.
Of
I don't
course.
think.
I never really tried to start it. That's for sure. Like, you know, on a show like that, you know, sometimes you got to like stir the pot a little bit. But I always had a very small pot to stir. I never really wanted to stir the big pot. Like, I never felt comfortable doing that because it's just not my spirit. Like, I'm all about like, you know, peace and love and light, resolution. You know, we're going to disagree about things.
Sure.
And all of that is normal. But I never want it to be like, I never want to go like low.
But you also
just get down and dirty.
I agree.
You also knew the girls. So you had a friendship with them.
No, when I first came on the show, I didn't know anyone.
You didn't know any of those girls when you first
ladies
came.
when I first came on the show.
Oh.
And they actually, the first person they had me meet was NeNe Leakes.
Oh.
And I came on the show as NeNe's friend.
Okay.
Yeah,
and then you got into a fight with her,
was like
though.
the breakout star on the show.
But you got into a fight with
down
NeNe.
the road.
Yeah.
Like years later.
Yeah.
So they probably all assumed that you were just as crazy as NeNe could be.
Well, I don't know. I just think that,
Well, I mean,
I don't know what they thought about me because they really didn't know anything about me. I came on as NeNe's friend.
Okay.
I didn't know anything about reality TV, so I just was like, oh, I'm
Right.
just going to be myself. You know, I usually get along with people. They're going to love me. This is going to be great.
How did they find you?
They dragged my ass that first season. I was going through, I was getting married. We were like losing all our money.
Yep.
I was NeNe's friend. This was the year that I did the friend contract. I don't know if you guys know about the friend contract. Do you know about the friend contract?
I know something about it, but not.
So on my first season, I go on with NeNe, and of course, you know, NeNe's my friend on the show, so I'm like loyal to her, and it's like I'm with her. Most of my scenes are with her, so of course the girls spin it and make it seem like I'm obsessed with NeNe. Of course,
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with her.
Of course.
I can't do anything without NeNe. You know, it's all like whatever. You know, NeNe's a big personality.
Yeah.
And again, she was the breakout star on that show, and I'm not big like a big personality like that. I have personality, but like. You know, NeNe has a huge personality. Yeah. So anyway, long story short, we do like I didn't even know how the confessionals work. So I'm like watching the show and I'm saying like, oh my God, she's like so up NeNe's ass. She's my friend. Whatever. So I started like kind of catching on to the drama of this whole thing and how like these girls maybe are not as nice to me out of my face as they are in my face.
Right.
And just for a joke, because I do have a sense of humor, I was like, you know what? And then I would see NeNe like engaging with them, and I'm like, wait a minute, what is happening? So they made it seem like I was like NeNe's stalker. And then I was like, okay, wait a minute. So I was like, you know what? I don't understand what's happening. This girl seems like she's my friend. I can't tell what's happening when she's with the other ladies. So I just, for a joke, I just like wrote this paper on a piece of paper. It's like, are you my friend? Yes or no, or maybe. And signed, if you are, then whatever. Okay. And I did it for a joke. I thought we would laugh and go have margaritas, right? Sure. Well, that didn't happen. What happened was she took my friend contract and showed the other ladies. They, oh my God, what a stalker! Who does this? Who gives someone a friend contract? It was like obviously a joke. Right. But when I tell you, they had me looking so crazy. Season 3, I wasn't even sure I even wanted to come back. I was like, oh my God, like clearly I'm joking. And then even the people that watched it, like social media, you know, they were just like, oh, she's so ridiculous. Like, you believe she gave her a friend contract. How desperate is that, you know? Yeah. So it kind of backfired, but then it kind of worked out because it was like, you know, on this show, like things that you just organically and just authentically do on the show are the things that kind of catch on, and it went on to become a thing. Like other franchises, like the girls started giving friend contracts. Oh, got it. When I went to BravoCon, they had like a little case with like a burned friend because I ended up having to burn it because it didn't work out with me. It was and I had to burn it. Yeah. But then now we're like actually full circle moment. We're in a great place now.
I'm sure you guys are friends.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, we're not like best of friends or anything, but when we see each other's all love, we can go have a drink together. together. We can go have dinner together.
I mean, the fact that she also tried to do the acting thing for her.
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
Because she did a show.
Yeah, she was on Glee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was on Glee. She was
NBC.
great. And then she was on something.
Some
I feel like she was on
ABC
something
show where
else,
she
too.
was the best friend of the gay couple.
Yeah, something.
I can't remember the name
what
of
was
that show. Andrew Rannells was in it.
Yes,
good
I
show.
love that show.
And then they canceled it. I
that
couldn't
was
believe
a
that.
great show.
It was really
She
good.
was
Yeah.
great in it. And
Yeah,
I
she was
thought-
good.
I
She was really good, and she's still acting. We just did, what was the show we just did for Netflix together? We did like some cute little fun cameos for that show. Oh, The Upshaws. So I literally was just out here shooting
Very
with
cool.
her. And we were like, both invited on a trip to Dubai together.
Oh,
so
nice.
we hung out. You know what? I feel like, with the housewives, you're going to go through ups and downs. But
That was
anyway,
good.
going back to the housewife stuff. So
Yeah.
one of the things about like all the up and down relationships
Mm-hmm.
on Housewives, like honestly, no matter what you go through with people on a platform like this, I still feel a certain sisterhood to all of them, even the ones that I don't know, just because we're kind of all in it together.
Yeah.
And it just takes so much to do a show like this. I just feel like, girl, I feel your pain. I feel you.
I know what you're doing. I know what you're
spiritually
going
through.
connected to you. I don't really know you, but my heart goes out to you because it's not for the weak, these types
Right.
of shows, for sure. And
they've evolved where I think even more so than when they were in the beginning. Now, there's like a system and a formula that you really have to have. I think a tough skin
100%.
to survive.
100%. And when I started this journey, season 3, we didn't, it was still kind of happening. Now it's like, a full on movement. There's so many housewife franchises in so many different cities now. When I joined, I think it was like Atlanta, Orange County, and
Beverly Hills.
Beverly
Beverly
Hills.
Hills was there.
Yeah.
New York.
Do you think there's a resurgence of Atlanta because of Peacock? Because now they're running like all the seasons you can watch, and so I every time I turn on my Peacock, they give me a suggestion of Atlanta. They give me a suggestion of all the different ones.
Well, I mean, to be honest, Atlanta was #1 for a very long time.
I can see why.
Very long time. Not so much the last couple seasons, but we held the throne for a long time to the point where we would get frustrated because the network would never promote us, or like we would never be on the buses in New York City. We never have.
You weren't?
No, we weren't. We didn't have any promotion because they kept saying, "Well, you guys don't need it." Like,
wow.
Everybody just watched Atlanta.
Yeah, but you want to see your face drive by on
I
the
know.
bus.
I want to see your face.
You're
I
going to be
wanna
driving
see my
by
face on a
going,
billboard.
I'm here,
Like, I feel
TMZ.
Yes, and we were so popular in Atlanta. I feel like when you land into Atlanta,
right,
you need to, as soon as you get on the highway, you need to see a big billboard
Right.
of the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yeah, of course.
So,
wow.
But they never really had to. And
I'll tell you something about that. When we did a show, they did billboards, and we were on every single billboard. And when we were in London, we're going through the subway,
That's funny.
and we had no idea. We're like, but we're in London. Like, I would never even think. People were like, "Oh, that's you,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Oh,
and
that's
after
so
like the
cool.
third or fourth or fifth one, we come down the escalator. We're like, "That's what they're talking about."
Yeah.
You're in the
Wow.
subway.
Race
in
to the scene, right?
billboard.
You're talking about Race
Yeah.
to the Scene. It was like an amazing race
It
type
was
show. We did
such
in
a.
Reels.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
exciting.
Everywhere.
I did not want to leave the fucking subway. I wanted to stay in the subway. I'm
That
like,
was pretty fun.
did they notice us? Are they looking
But you
at us?
guys are like pretty noticeable. Like, even I can't remember.
Kind of.
No, you guys are like, because it's like a little threesome thing going on. It's like the two of you guys. And
Are you
the
talking
dog,
about Todrick's
and
birthday
then
when
it's
we
out.
showed up?
No, anywhere you guys show up, it's like a whole moment. It's like if I did know you guys, I'd be like, who are these?
Who
two?
are these
Who are they?
people?
Like you just kind of have to like know who you guys are.
But we've met in 2017.
We did?
I
Where did we meet?
realized
I was
at that
trying to
hotel in
remember.
Hollywood.
What hotel?
You were doing an event for your collection bags that
The
had
bag.
just launched.
Argo CB.
Yeah.
And that was
Yes.
2017.
Yes.
And
And we had talked to you before.
Yeah.
Then when you got here is when we came to the hotel. Well, you invited us.
Yes.
We came to the hotel.
But I knew. How do I know about you guys? Because I came here
right,
to get a
You
dress
came
for an
here
event.
for.
Yes.
That was
But how
after.
did I meet y'all? I can't remember.
we met at the first time at that hotel, and then
Okay,
we just
that
kept
event.
in touch.
And then we
after
kept.
you
in
know how
touch.
I always send like Easter and Merry
No,
Christmas,
you're,
and you
you're
would send
really
back,
good.
and we
you're
just
not
kind
so
of.
much.
He never. He
You're
doesn't
I don't know where my
ever
phone
stay
is,
on the
Cynthia.
phone.
No, you
Yeah.
always get like a text from you.
Well,
like
it's
a
the
check-in.
same, isn't it? If it comes from us.
I know. It's like I figured that out. I was like,
I mean, it's not
basically,
like it's
he's
me
the
and him.
spokesperson in
Right.
the
Yes.
relationship.
Listen,
Yeah.
I got a
I get it.
sweatshop to be in. My
Sweatshop.
fingers and toes are like
Yeah.
so what?
Yeah.
And I was thinking that because I saw that picture when we first met, and I was looking at it. I'm like, I can't believe how long ago that was.
Yeah.
And then we just maintained.
And we all
this
look hot
friendship.
still.
I know.
We all still look really hot.
No, we look great.
We look fabulous.
Cynthia, is there anyone on on Atlanta that you would never film with again?
Oh, you know what? I would film with any of the ladies. Like when it comes to working with these ladies, first of all, I'm a professional.
Yep.
I can make money with anybody.
Yeah.
I can make money with my worst enemy. I've never got nobody's
told
gonna
you
stand in the way of Mama's bag.
I told you she was a great actress.
Now,
I told you that.
Thank you. So, would I, are there certain ones that I wouldn't invite to my home, or I don't care to go to their home, or really have?
Yeah, which one are those? List
well,
them.
no, we're not gonna get into it.
List them.
List
List
be
them.
messy.
List them.
Kenya Moore.
List them. Name them.
List them.
Kenya Moore. Portia
We're just
Williams.
trying to come up with a
No,
new version of
I'm in a
it.
great place with Portia.
Kim. Kim Zolciak.
You know what? I have not seen Kim in a long time, but I don't personally have an issue with Kim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
NeNe
But
does. She pulled
I
that
don't know, I
weave
think
right off.
That was so long ago.
I
I
know, but
think
that's
they're
what got them
now.
all.
But I think they're okay now. I
They
really,
should
really
be.
do.
They should be. Now that she has nothing.
Stop it. You are terrible.
You're bad, Paul.
Well,
bad.
That's all I hear.
Let me drink some of my
I
coffee.
feel
You're
bad
terrible.
though. I feel bad for her. I know people
Listen.
that live around the corner from their house, and they're like, "Oh, it's up for sale. Oh, it's up for foreclosure. Oh, the neighborhood's talking
That
about it."
actually
It's
makes me
really
really
sad.
sad. It really
What
does
I
make
don't
me sad.
understand
How do
is
you go through that kind of money though?
yeah, but
It's
that's what I don't
sad.
understand. How they're on these shows and they just burn.
And they don't have
through
any money.
I don't get it.
Well, I think what happens, and I'm not speaking to Kim's situation specifically because I honestly don't know her situation.
Nobody
to
knows.
be honest.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of times what happens on shows like this is you get used to, because you're like on TV now, and now you're like famous, and people expect a certain lifestyle from you.
Sure.
And unfortunately, whatever the money's doing, sometimes is money more better than other times.
Yeah.
I think people sometimes maybe, well, I know they do. They live beyond their means. So just
Well,
keep it going.
Of course.
Did you
And
see
then
our
you just get to where you get to.
Did you see our new Rolls Royce? It's not ours.
That was y'all's car here.
It's not ours. It's just for
funny.
show. It's
my
gonna go back to the
God.
dealer in like 20 more minutes.
I think you're right.
Well,
I think they do.
Yeah,
live
and
beyond
Atlanta
their
has a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
Because,
Oh,
we
wow.
have, like, out here, it's so much more expensive to
Right.
live.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Than Atlanta. Atlanta, everybody can be in a mansion for $1 million or $800,000 or $700,000.
But can they really afford it?
Well,
It looks good on
that
paper
part,
and on camera, but can they really keep those mortgage payments
I
up?
will say, for the ladies that have been on the show for a long time, for Atlanta specifically, we make a lot of money after a certain amount of time. Now, how you spend that money and how you invest that money and, what you do with the money, that's on you. So just because you make money don't mean you have money because, again, if you're spending it on, different things like nothing against like a Birkin bag or whatever, but I don't care how much money I have. I'm not going to buy myself one. I'm just not. I don't own one, and I just can't make it make sense for a purse.
Well, you dealing with the guy that could have bought you one, and now he's nowhere to be. He's been blocked.
The dick guy?
Oh my God,
I don't
Paul.
think he was going to get me a Birkin bag.
He put air in her tires. That was it. And then sent her a dick pic. Jesus. Oh my God.
But you know what I'm saying? I I'm not knocking anybody to live the life that they want to live, but me personally, I know, I actually use my bag to just carry stuff, and I would be so stressed out. It's just thrown over there, but
do you fly private?
Every opportunity, absolutely.
Okay.
But you know what? I got to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't love flying private.
It's boring, isn't it?
Well, here's the thing. I actually,
Boring for me.
I'm always afraid for some reason. I just feel more comfortable on commercial flights, and
Yeah.
I love
They're
flying
gonna
first
be
class.
more-
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for a lay flat bed for sure.
Yep.
I try to aim for those type of flights when I fly first class. And I'm kind of good with that. I have like so many miles on Delta. I'm like almost a 2 million miler at this point. I got like mad juice on Delta. I'm always, even if I'm buying my own ticket, I usually always get upgraded.
Yeah.
So it just works for me. And I just kind of feel like if we going down, we all going down. I'm
Yeah.
going down with like 200 people with me instead of like me and 3 people. I don't
Like
know.
I was on a
scary
flight
about it for
last
me.
week because I went to Aspen to visit a friend last week, and I went by myself, and I was on I think it was like a 14-seater plane or something, and
See, I can do 14 seats. I don't like anything that's like 4 seats. Like you got to give me at least 8 and up.
But then they get on, and then they're like moving people around according to weight
To
See,
balance.
that's what I don't
but
like.
now it's the plane.
Because I'm always that one with the heavy bags. Like my bags alone are overweight, and I always overpack. So once you start talking about weight, I'm immediately like, we're going down. And I watch all those movies about plane crashes.
Oh yeah.
Like all the time. Like,
I don't
I'm
even
obsessed
understand
with
how
stuff
they
like that.
distribute it because it's not tied down, so it's moving. You can hear it going,
I
slushing
don't
from one end to
I
the
just
other.
think that's too much information. Like, we don't need to
Yeah.
know about the weight on the plane. That's something that we never need to know about. Let them figure out and move the weight around and just
I
somehow
felt so
tell us.
bad for the lady in the back because she was like really big. Like she probably could have taken 2 seats. And they moved her to like kind
To
of
the middle?
halfway to
Balance
the
it
front.
out. Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, I should hook her up with Ozempic or something. Because I felt really bad for her because they don't do it quietly. They're like,
Well, there's
okay,
only-
excuse me, ma'am, we need
Right.
you over here.
Yeah.
And then she's like, why do I need to move? I go, well, we're doing it. And they tell you, we're distributing
Yeah.
the plane by weight.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God, why would they do this to this poor woman? I felt
Yeah.
bad.
Well, I mean, I guess safety first, right? I mean, honestly. I mean, at the end of the day, you guys want the plane to
This is true.
do what needs to happen.
I don't know. I think none of that stuff excites me anymore. But when you get on a show, I feel like most of the women or anyone on a show feels the need to start living a different life than what they understand and know. And at that point, it becomes such a runaway train that they can't
Yeah.
control
maintain
it
it, yeah.
again.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't make the right investments. They think they have to do certain things that they shouldn't be doing, that they wouldn't have done in real life, that
Right.
now they're exercising to do, and they have no clue about how to be able to do it. So
Yeah.
why are you in something you don't know how to navigate?
Yeah, I think sometimes people on TV just get caught up with
They
the
get caught up.
perception of what they're supposed to look like. Like I'm literally that person
You're real.
that will be like I love the Dollar Tree. I love a good Dollar Tree.
And
Well,
they're
the
closing
99
And
cents
that's
store.
what I know.
store
I was so-
everywhere.
I know. I
He
was
was
like,
so
what the
mad.
You
hell?
should have seen him, babe. Your favorite store's going
Yeah.
He
out.
loves that store.
I'm like, it's a
And I
99
have a
cent
really good
store.
one because some it's like some are better than others. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yes.
had one in my neighborhood that had like everything in there. It had like food and
Yes,
like,
fresh
like a freezer,
groceries.
like
Yes.
everything in there. And I would be I would like literally go in there to get like 2 things, and I would just get caught up, and I would just go through every aisle.
I know.
I'd be up in the Dollar Tree taking pictures, like, oh my God, Cynthia, oh my God, so cool to see you. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, I am up in here as well. But I like grew up with like that's I came from very humble beginnings. I just love a good Dollar Tree, and I got really upset when things started being more than $1.
I
to be
know.
honest.
So
I'm
she
like
said it too.
$5 for this candle.
He was yelling at me because he would send me to the 99 cent store and I'd come back and then he's like, wait,
Well, how
why
can
is
it be
this
not
$1.99?
It's like,
Why is this
it's supposed to be
$1.99?
10 items, $10.
Exactly.
And then he gets mad at me because I never look at the receipt.
He
So
doesn't
I
look at
I don't look
prices.
at receipt. I don't look at prices. If I need it, I get it.
Do you look
Yeah.
at prices?
You know what? Thank you, Lord. I don't. I still, I have means and I make money.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I'm at a point in my life where I don't really have to look at prices.
I don't
He
either.
never looks at
Never.
prices. I don't know
I go
how
to-
not to look
If
at
I
prices.
want it,
I don't
I'm going to
really-
get it because I know
Well,
I can
but
afford
don't
it.
when I say I don't look at prices,
Yeah.
like if I'm in a grocery store,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, how much is this tomato? I just get what I get
Yeah.
and
No, I can't.
figure it out
Is
when I
that
get
crazy?
to the counter.
I can.
But if I went into Chanel or somewhere, I'd be looking at prices. Okay, it depends on where I'm going.
I send him to the grocery store with a list. He comes back home with 20 bags More
me.
money that we could have spent, and not one item that I had on the list for me to be able to.
Because when I get there, I'm just so like enamored.
caught
Oh
up.
my God, look
Yeah,
at this! I need to get
that's
this.
me.
This is on sale. I have to get it because
Yeah,
it's
I
not
love
going to
a
be
good
on sale
sale.
next week.
I love it. Buy one get one free.
Yes.
I'm like, I don't even.
But it's
need
nothing
all
we
this.
use. What
I
do we
know
need
it,
it
but
for?
I'm just a sucker for it. I am.
That's
I am.
funny.
And I do because I'm never in one place long, so I don't really
Yeah.
go to the grocery store a lot. I mostly Instacart because it's just quicker, and I don't really, and when I'm at like Bailey, it's just me, so I don't really cook a lot of food at one time.
Yep.
But I recently went to the grocery store, and when I tell you, I was like, it's like on Instacart, you don't see all
I
the
know.
new stuff that came out.
I know.
So I'd be like, and I'll like, wait a minute.
Yes.
In the ice cream section, like, I didn't know they had this flavor and this flavor. I would be in there for like 2 hours. So it's like,
Thanks for reminding me. I got to stop and get ice cream.
I
today.
know.
Oh my God.
I'm going to start back on my ice cream.
Yeah, but I think one of the things that I've been able to do is I've always tried to like budget myself and just like, I don't know, I think it's just something about growing up poor that you just always want to save, and your main focus with your success is to just never be poor again. Like,
So
you
you've
just
never
keep
lived
working.
beyond your means.
Not really.
Yeah.
Like I love my home.
Yep.
It's not like over the top for what I make or
Yeah.
anything. I do love a nice car. I'm a Range Rover girl.
Okay.
A Rover girl.
You love
Those
your
are like
life,
my
though.
thing.
You're
But those
living
are like
your
my
life
main
the
two
way you
things.
want to
I want to make sure
live.
my daughter's comfortable and
Yeah.
live in a safe place.
That's
but
it.
I'm kind of good. Like I look at all the bags and stuff that I bought over the years, and I'm like, it's kind of cool that I have them, but they don't define
Identify
me.
you.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
validate me.
I
in
think
any
that's the
way.
difference between some people. When
You
they
know?
do buy it, they buy it because they want other people to know they have it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, now I am a watch. I do like a good watch.
Oh, me too.
And I'm a Cartier girl. So, but again, that's when I do want to treat myself. It's like, a timepiece, something that I care about.
Yeah.
Like no one's looking at me like, oh, okay, she has that on. She's made it.
But
or
you're doing
whatever.
it for you. You're doing it
do it
because
for
you
me.
work hard.
Yeah.
You're doing it because it makes you happy. You're doing
Yeah.
it because that's what life
And
is.
that's the key.
Not
I do what makes me happy.
Yeah,
Sure.
you're not doing it to
I
impress
love
other
sushi.
people or
I've been like a Nobu girl from the beginning.
I love
so
Nobu. Yeah.
I'm not going to Nobu because I want people to see me at Nobu. I'm going there because from
you're
the
not like
beginning
me.
of time. It's like one of my favorite places
Yeah,
to go.
it's
and
good.
eat
It's
sushi.
good sushi,
I was just
though.
there last night with my daughter.
great.
Anyone
It's
that
really
knows me, if they're like, okay, where are we going to dinner? And no, we're not going to Nobu because I know
thanks
that's
for
where
not
you go.
inviting me.
Yeah,
I would have rolled up.
We can
I
go
would
back.
have rolled up in that fake Rolls Royce.
No, we can go back. We can go back. Well, I actually got like a very concerning Instagram this morning, actually from Noel's dad. And it was like, they have all these, like, it was like a doctor, it was like a neurosurgeon, whatever. And he was saying, like we shouldn't eat sushi because he was talking about, like, parasites and stuff.
Oh.
And how they can travel up to your brain. And sushi, it was like 3
Oh.
things. It was like pork, it was sushi, and it was, what was the other thing? Pork, sushi, and salmon, like, not the wild cut salmon, but
Yeah.
the other one.
Oh, wow.
The yummier one.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the bad one. And I
The
was
one that's
like,
homegrown,
okay, well,
right?
those are the 3 things that I like to eat. So,
I know.
and he was talking about, I guess it causes, like, I know this is going completely off subject.
No, but that's
I think it's
interesting.
very, very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I was, like, mortified. I was like, I just sucked down 3 spicy tuna rolls last night.
Yum.
And I'm going to dinner tonight at Katsuya. And
Yum.
I'm like, more sushi. But now I'm like, maybe
He
I should
loves
have
the
the cooked
sake
stuff.
there.
Ugh.
I love sake
I do
anywhere.
too.
He loves
Yeah.
the sake.
But anyway, so now I'm like, well, let me
So will
see
you cut back
what-
on sushi now?
I'm mindful. I really want to like look into it a little
Yeah.
bit, or at least try to find something that kills
Honey,
parasites.
can you do it while
Like,
you're
can we
eating?
eat the sushi and
Can
like
you
do
eat it?
something that will kill the parasites?
Can you-
Because
can-
that's a hard one to give up for me.
Yes.
I
oh
give
my
up a
God.
lot of stuff. I don't know if I can give up sushi.
Yeah.
Read about it while you're
Yeah.
eating it.
Yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. You guys are welcome for that little information. But I just got that this morning.
Well,
gonna
so
do
how
that
did
right
not
now?
yet, not yet. How did you get on Celebrity Big Brother? Because we
Oh, yeah.
love Big Brother.
Oh yes. How did I get on there?
Yeah. And why did you do Celebrity Big Brother?
Okay. Well, one of the things
She told you she does the hustle. She did it for the cash.
Okay, she
Exactly.
can
Well,
answer.
first of all,
Paul.
the money was great. Thank you very much. The money was great. And
Yep.
how did I get on it? Basically, they reached out to my agent and
Okay.
asked me if I wanted to be on there. And I honestly hadn't I'd never seen Celebrity Big Brother. So
Really?
I didn't know that much. You know what? I'm lying. I think Candy had did it the year
Uh-huh.
before, and that's why I knew about it, because she had done it, and I remember she would text me to like post stuff or whatever, how we would have to do that. And I was like, oh, okay. But I had never thought about doing it.
Okay.
And the opportunity came up, and one of the things that I decided, I was like, okay, if I walk away from Housewives,
Yep.
I can do this, but I need to stay on TV.
Sure.
It doesn't have to be on Housewives per se.
Got it.
And it worked out for me. I'm big on manifestation. You know, I pray, I work my butt off, I do all the things that the universe can help me help myself.
Sure.
And I literally went from Housewives to Ultimate Girls Trip to Big Brother House. Like, it was just on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
So the goal was to stay on TV. And I've been doing a pretty good
Were
job
you
doing that.
prepared for being stuck in a house with cut off from the outside world? It's like, what, 45 days that you're basically there? 40 days?
I was there longer.
Oh, you were?
Because I made it to final 3.
Oh, so that's what...
So was I prepared? No way. Well,
Yeah.
first of all, I went into the house thinking I would be the first to be kicked out of the house.
Really?
They know you.
Because I didn't know the game. I didn't know. Okay. Yeah. I went into the house thinking I would be the first one to get kicked out of the
Yeah.
house. Because I didn't really. So I like to wear things that look good on me. Oh, are you about to read my cup?
Yes, we're going to do your Armenian
Do
coffee
you see a man
reading.
in that cup?
So this is
I
a
actually
tradition,
do.
ancient Armenian tradition, where he reads the Armenian coffee grounds. So when you were drinking your coffee, your intentions are going into the cup, and now he's going to read it for you.
Ooh.
I'm excited
And how
for
do
you.
you know how to do this?
It's so crazy. I know he's
From
been
my
doing it forever.
great-grandmother.
Oh my god.
I've been doing it for years, right?
Okay.
Well, you know, I've read
Yeah, she knows. Many times he's read Jeff's cup.
Yeah.
Many times.
I just wasn't doing it publicly.
Right.
And then when I started doing it on the podcast, everybody started DMing him going, what the fuck? Do you have to be a celebrity to be
Yeah.
able to get read by
Right.
Paul?
Oh wow.
It's
Yeah.
become everyone's new obsession.
I
They don't
love
want to see the
that.
housewives tear each other up. They want to see what
Right.
I'm
They
about
want
to
their
say.
cup red. That coffee cup red.
Yeah.
They don't want the tea. They want that coffee.
They
cup.
want they want the coffee grounds. I'll tell you something. Everything in your cup is all about you. Everything is you. Unless the C is someone else. Is there someone else that has the initial C like you do?
No.
Oh, there's a C in her cup?
Millions of them.
What?
No.
Where? Can you show her?
See the C right there? See
I
the
do
C
see
up here? See the C over here?
Wow.
See the C down here?
Wow.
And you drank from this side, which means
I
this is
did.
your interior. Right now, the only thing you want to do is Cynthia.
It's my turn. I told you this is
The only
era
thing
of-
you
of
want to
my
be
turn.
able to, who you're connecting with, I think more than ever, is you. What you're manifesting, it's not finding a relationship. It's finding the better version of you, so that when the relationship does come around, then at that point, you're able to figure out if they're right for you.
That's true.
Not that if you're right for
For
them.
them.
Because I think in the past you were always thinking of how to be able to fit a mold
Right.
or adjust yourself because it could work. It's no big deal. So you'll
Yeah. Some of my past relationships, I felt like I was good for them, but they weren't good
for you.
me.
But
Yeah.
now
And I mean that in the best possible way. Like, I felt like I was ready to give more, I think, of myself than they.
I think before you were doing it in a different context. Now you're doing it for Cynthia. It's
My
what
turn.
makes Cynthia happy. Cynthia knows what's grounding her. Cynthia knows what she needs. And Cynthia knows what she wants, which are two different things,
Yes. And I know what I don't want,
for sure.
for sure.
That's so interesting that it all comes in your cup like that. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's so true, though. Like, I really had to decide to literally, no pun intended, pour back into Cynthia,
Yeah.
pour back into myself. And I am in my era of me. This is my turn. It's really, really my turn. So,
I don't know. I don't see a relationship in this cup.
are you sure?
She's looking in the cup, everyone.
I don't. But I'll tell you one more thing though.
Okay.
The more important things are you've got 3 different roads that you've carved out for yourself.
Okay.
There are 3 different missions. You have this goal, this goal, and this goal. And you're achieving each one on its own merits individually, and the accomplishment that you feel and the acknowledgement that you're getting for each one that you're doing is giving you such greater worth than being in a relationship.
It's true. I agree with that. Although I want love again, as someone who's a believer in timing.
Yeah.
Maybe these other things that I'm focused on, like my acting career and all the other things that I'm focused on, are just, maybe it's just not time. Maybe that person would distract me from my purpose right now.
Well, you're going on a trip,
Where am I
2
going?
trips.
I am.
You're going to meet somebody on one of those trips.
Okay.
The second trip. I know you're going somewhere this weekend.
I am.
You're going to Miami.
I am.
You're going to meet, you're not meeting the person here. You're
Oh.
meeting someone on a trip.
Okay.
So when you're out, keep your antennas up and sharp,
Interesting.
because that's when you're going to be able to see them.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Interesting.
What are the 3 goals? What are the 3 different things? You got 3 different ones. 1, 2, and 3.
All right. Definitely my acting career, for sure, is a huge focus for me. That's like my biggest focus right now.
Sure.
Unfortunately, at this point, like, the money part of my acting career is not moneying like like it should be, because I'm still at the bottom.
Right.
So,
Welcome to my
doing
life.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So, there's another show. There's a show in the reality space that I am involved with as talent and as a producer.
Nice.
That is a focus right now.
Okay.
And that money's a little bit better.
Good.
So that's going to help balance everything out. And then the third thing that's a huge focus for me is staying connected with my daughter, Noelle. Like, my life and
She's
my...
amazing, by the way.
Yeah,
Thank
I love her.
you.
She's
I mean,
fun.
you've done...
Thank you.
I know parents don't get enough credit for raising a child, because you think they just come out of the womb like that. Oh, yeah, they're
Oh, no.
perfect. Girl,
Nope.
no.
And, she's a 24-year-old, and, because of my work life for so many years, I feel like as a mom, I always provided, but I was not always there.
Present.
Yeah.
And now I'm at a point in my life where, and we can hang out and drink together. She's 24. We can go, like, we were just out at Nobu last night having some cocktails and stuff. I feel like I have a lot of making up to do in a lot of ways. I have a lot of, although, again, I was a provider and I made sure she was good.
Yeah.
And she was, like, well taken care of between my mom, her nanny,
The village.
Leon's mom.
Yeah.
She had a
I
whole
think
village
the
around
village,
her.
of
Yeah, yeah.
course.
But she didn't have me 100% of the time, or
Sure.
even 50% of the time. So there's a part of my life that is a huge focus on just being present and spending time, quality time with Noelle.
I like that.
The 3 things that you have in your destination that you're trying to get to, each one of them is going to come through for you.
Yeah. I feel like it's all working. It's all working.
I love that.
There's not
And
going to
that
be
feels
one
good.
that's going to fall behind or whatever. They're all each going to happen. There's one thing, though. There's an ingredient missing with one of them. You have to sprinkle a little more of that ingredient in there.
Okay.
And I don't know which one that is, because it goes right across the top. And I'm not sure if this is something that, when you left Housewife, was there anything unsettled that you feel that you need to close? There's a portal here, and I don't want to say that you're stagnant, but something happened that, and I'm thinking it must have been the Housewife, because it tracks back to when, like, a few years back. So when you stopped it, there was something that was unsettling or not finished. You weren't completely, you didn't just close that chapter completely. It seemed like there was unsettled stuff.
Unfinished business. I do
Yes.
feel like when I left Housewives, it was definitely a to be continued.
Okay.
And I feel like when and if I ever do go back in that space, then I will have more to say at that time.
Because but here's the thing. Don't allow that to define what you're doing moving forward.
Right.
Because there is a hinge of the unfinished there that you're holding back in what you're doing now.
Ooh, it's interesting.
This podcast is brought to you by Herdat Media and American Media Television. Executive producers are Patrick Simpson, Paula Tu, and Pat Safford. Produced by Jordan Hill and Sarah Silicula. Shooting and editing by Jordan Hill. Music by Digital Camo. Artwork by Dominique Demets. And hosted by Paula Tu, Patrick Simpson, and Little Snow White 90210. Remember to follow at Paula Tu and at Patrick Simpson and at Snow White 90210 and watch Gown and Out in Beverly Hills on Prime Video. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast so you never miss an episode.